I may not be a fall baby, but I love this time of year. Autumn in New York is crisp air, cozy sweaters, and warm flavors just make everything feel comforting. I mentioned I'm getting married. Super busy, everybody is in town, and I want to look my best. Healthy eating is the primary focus, and with Green Chef, the number one meal kit for clean eating, you can do just that. Green Chef makes it easy to spend less time in the kitchen and more time enjoying fall. And with their new Heat and Eat meals, enjoy a delicious, wholesome meal in just 3 minutes. Perfect for supporting your wellness journey, Green Chef recipes feature fresh, organic, seasonal produce and 100% responsibly sourced proteins to help you feel your best. Green Chef's real clean ingredients help you build lasting, healthy habits without the hassle. Enjoy salads ready in just 5 minutes, protein-filled breakfasts, or nutrient-rich smoothies to fuel your day. Green Chef is ready to nurture your nutritional needs. I use this and you should too. I mentioned I'm getting married. Oh my goodness, it is the week of the wedding. Oh my goodness, I mentioned I'm getting married. It's the week of the wedding. Diego and I have been cooking up a storm, but we don't have a lot of time, so we just tried their baked lemon pepper tilapia with feta. It was the perfect nutritional meal to keep us energized. I loved the feta cheese to give it a little bit of extra oomph. It's so delicious. You'll love it as much as we did. Make this fall your healthiest yet with Green Chef. Head to greenchef.com/50 tags and use code 50 tags to get 50% off your first month, then 20% off for 2 months with free shipping. That's code 50 tags at greenchef.com/50 tags.
Thursday Night Football is on, and it's only on Prime Video. This week, the Buffalo Bills and the Houston Texans collide in an AFC showdown. Coverage begins at 7 p.m. Eastern with football's best party, TNF Tonight, presented by Verizon. Not a Prime member? Not a problem. Simply sign up for a 30-day free trial. It's the Bills and the Texans, Thursday at 7 p.m. Eastern, only on Prime Video. Restrictions apply. See Amazon.com/Amazon Prime for details.
What is going on? You are listening to Tags Podcast, aka Talk About Gay Sex Podcast. This is episode 714. I am your host, Stevie V, alongside Jeremy Ross Lopez. How you doing, Jeremy?
I'm really well. How are you?
Really good, really good. Thank you so much. Joining us as well, rounding out the equation, the lovely, talented Cody Maurice Doggett. How the hell you doing, Cody?
Hello, darling. I'm doing okay. It's so lovely to hear you guys' voices.
Likewise.
It is. I love it. Well, I couldn't think of a better day to get into what we are talking about today on our sex talk. Let's just get into this. And it's all started in the moment that we're in right now. And I'm going to tell you something that I'm launching today that relates to all of this. I'll get to that in a second. But when I was thinking about the launch of my new app coming out today, I couldn't help but think of why I decided to start this up, because we're all in a moment right now where pretty much everyone is overwhelmed with options, particularly within our own community, starving for some sort of connection. When I talk about connection, I'm talking about, yes, of course, meeting that perfect Mr. Right, but I'm also talking about just true meaningful connections in our lives, maybe getting rid of some connections that haven't worked for us. And today we're talking about why real connection matters now more than ever in dating, in sex, and in the relationships we choose to keep. And it's a perfect timing because my new app, Connect in Confidence, is launching today. I was part of a program by studio.com, and my app launches today. It's for LGBTQ plus people, actually helping them to build confidence, self-awareness, and clarity. All kinds of tips and tricks. You'll see videos of me to make real connections. And I'll talk more about that. But now through Black Friday, you can get 20% off. I'll give you all the details to come. But when I am talking about true connections and why we might be starved for some of this, I think a lot of this came during the pandemic. a lot of this also came when we're maybe at a pinnacle point of app fatigue. Many of us have used the apps throughout the years, and if you really think about when they started, it's relatively new on how we meet people. And a lot of people, like I said, have the fatigue of all that. Bars are closing for our community. And so some of us don't really have in our community the ability to go out. But let's talk a little bit. Maybe this current administration here in America is allowing you, like, you want to find true connections. And let's just talk briefly about the importance of having true connections in dating and in your real life. I mean, let's just start with you, Jeremy, because you, during the pandemic, I remember, moved
Mhm.
away because of what was going on,
Yeah.
decided to
Mhm.
stay, uproot your whole existence here in New York City. I mean, you were a fashion graduate, working in fashion, but uprooted yourself. What was that period of leaving, but then restarting over where you're from in Massachusetts?
It was definitely very weird, and took a lot of acclimating to get back into like just being social and hanging out with people. And I I definitely value like the friendships that I had along the way and being like close with family at the time, and just like you spoke about all the connections and being social and being less cooped up. I definitely think that it also kind of weeded out any relationships or friendships that already were like kind of on the outs or weren't really there, and made any that were lasting stronger, just because of that long distance and not speaking to people as often as you would if you saw them in person and stuff like that.
And then it's interesting too because you ultimately you dated. I know because I hung out with you a lot in New York. We're always together,
Hmm.
but you ended up meeting your boyfriend Kevin going
Hmm.
back home. What do you attribute that to?
That was definitely just based off of the podcast alone. So I think that during COVID, he spent like time listening to podcasts in general, and he had heard on the podcast that I relocated back to the Boston area, and so after he reached out, then we kind of we got to know each other obviously through direct messenger, on Instagram, and then back and forth, just had like a really good banter that I could tell in person would be even better. And then we ended up having our like first date, which was like 7 or 8 hours long, and
Wow,
the rest is history
nice.
after that.
Yeah, I mean, when I think about my first date with Diego, it was 12 hours. We were all over the place. We
Wow.
were in New Jersey, we were hiking in upstate New York. It was just, and it was didn't feel like 12 hours, but when I counted, I was like, "Oh my gosh, that's amazing." And
Yeah, that's
shout out
always
to the
great.
power of podcasting too, because I just met some people on my recent Fakaya trip that shouted us out and said, "Oh my gosh, I love your show so much. I never miss an episode." I just met somebody recently reached out to us and said, James, who watches us live on Wednesday, and said that he's going to be in New York, wants to meet Cody and I for a drink.
That's
And we will
awesome.
try and do that because he said that traveling and our show helped him get out there more to meet more people, connect more is
Oh,
what we're talking about. And so, I mean, come on, shout out to the power of podcasting, Cody. And what could
that's
you say
right.
about, you know, connecting and what we're talking about?
I mean, it always makes everything better. I feel like especially in a romantic relationship, if you can connect to that other person on a deeper level, it just intensifies so many other things. And I mean, I feel like I really just discovered that recently. And it just changed my whole viewpoint on things. I seek connection more often now because I know that it's so valuable that it just really lifts everything up. And yeah, it's what I'm looking for now, basically. So yeah, and whatever you can't really quantify it. So whatever form it takes when it comes into your life, I feel like you just have to accept it. So you can't really like say, "Oh, I'm specifically looking for this type of connection," because you never know how it's going to manifest in your life. It could be with friends, it could be with a loved one, and it can come in a lot of shapes and forms. So I
Right,
think
and
we
I
should
think
keep
it's
our eyes open.
to what you're saying. I feel like it's something that's so organic,
Yeah.
and that's the beautiful aspect of it in general.
I agree with both of you. And I also think that when you're intentional about what you're looking for, one of the things that I love about my new app, Connect and Confidence, is that it gives you daily mindset shifts, prompts, but it also, I have guided meditations on intention setting. And those types of things I have practiced each morning. And you can do it in various different ways. It doesn't have to be a whole long meditation because I think we all know we're all so busy, but just consciously meditating in the morning, and we do guided things on this app to help you attract what you're looking for. The law of attraction is a real life thing, and
Mhm.
with intention setting you can actually maybe weed out some of those people. We're going to talk about that in a minute, but also draw in what you're looking for. And when we move on to why we're all kind of tired of surface level dating, I mean, swipe fatigue is real. The performance confidence era, basically the illusion of endless options but limited connection, why more people are craving emotional honesty and slow burning chemistry could have to do with a lot of the things I really do think, and history books will tell us in the future, that the pandemic had a lot to do with this. I mean, I remember talking endlessly to certain close friends for hours and hours because that's all we could do was get on the phone and starving for real connections. And then when we were able to kind of go out a little bit more, that remember those moments when you could see people again, not through a mask, but just really get together. It was really real. And I
Mhm.
do think for a lot of us, we started to take stock of app fatigue and really wanting to commune again and meet people. I mean, Cody, starting with you, I know the apps have been very successful to you, but you've also just stated also going out there and being just meeting people has been important. No?
So I'm so glad you brought this up, especially with like for me personally. After and I was going to find a way to fit this into the conversation, no matter what you ask me.
Good.
But I just had surgery, right? So I've been in the house
Yeah.
for about a week, and can I tell you, I'm climbing the walls. Like the apps, they're one thing.
Yeah.
And they're amazing, and you can connect with people across the world basically, and it's has its place and it has its time, and it can expedite a lot of things, but let me tell you, it does not compare. Maybe you can you also I'm going to reframe that. You also need to connect with people in real life, because that you can't replicate that connection that you get when you actually see somebody and you're talking to them face to face. You can feel their energy. There's just no substitute for that. So let me tell you, as soon as I can go out, I am ready to go out. I hope you're down, because we are going to the
Yes.
bar and I am flirting with all the boys. Okay.
I mean, absolutely. Let's go. But it reminds me, though, even with you, Jeremy, and Kevin, yeah, he didn't necessarily use an app. He DM'd you, correct? And
Mhm.
referenced something that you were on. That can also seem like a fan coming from you. I mean, I'm a little bit interested. His approach, Kevin got good game. Let's just give it that, because he did it in a way that didn't freak you out, I think. But what are your thoughts about app fatigue and the way that Kevin actually didn't use an app but used DMing, but somehow he managed to get you to meet up with him?
Well, I think that something that was different from him that isn't the same from other guys that I've talked to before is memory. I really am attracted to someone that can listen and retain what I say and reference it. And that was something that he's still very good at. He remembers everything that I say, mostly everything that he wants to remember, and he
Hmm.
references back, and we just naturally had a lot in common. Still have a lot in common when it comes to music and movies and fashion and holidays and just a lot of different things that are important to both of us. We have in common. But I think that just communication and our natural attraction is really what held holds everything together. And I think that our our banter back and forth before we even met in person, all taking place on direct messenger, was like enough that I knew I wanted to meet up with him, and so it was even better and more rewarding. And like Cody said, there's nothing that will ever replace that actual connection. But it's interesting that for a year we talked so much back and forth, and I think that checking in with someone and then referencing things that you remember were going to take place or happen in that person's life is really important and crucial to building any sort of relationship that's going to have stability and long standing. So I think that that was all really helpful in the foundation of starting anything together.
That is so important that just, oh, I get flutters. You said it a couple different times when somebody remembers something about you and references it, and because they're showing interest, and showing
Mhm.
interest is what you want. You're showing interest in them, hopefully, and it's reciprocated. We talk to a lot of people in our daily lives, and just that moment that you're interested in somebody, but you can see they're really interested in you. Have you ever talked to somebody? I have a lot of friends that they're such good communicators, and they're looking at you and they're really in the moment of talking to you. And my sister and I have this thing because we'll reference some of the same people in our lives where, like, whenever we're talking to them, it's as if the rest of the world is closed
Yeah.
off and they are so interested in what you have to say, and it makes you feel it makes me feel so warm, heard, and that my life matters. And if that one tip, if you could just truly be in the moment with your when listening to somebody, makes somebody feel heard and special, and that's how you would want to feel too.
Right.
It's such a powerful thing. I'll
Yeah.
never forget when I met Diego at the Eagle. I stood next to him, and of course I was intrigued by his look, and I thought, oh, this is a sexy man here. But I started asking him and found out he was into hiking, and I was so intrigued that I kept that conversation going. And then I was obsessed on, can you take me on a hike? And he said yes. And I know I just kept going down this, but I don't know that I noticed anybody else. But of course, I wanted another margarita, so I asked the bartender. But besides the bartender, I was so engaged in Diego and what was happening, the spark I think that's what we're all looking for. And let's switch gears here too, because if we're talking about who we're trying to draw in, who are we trying to drop? The art of dropping, and who and what doesn't serve us anymore. Letting go of situationships, and we all know what that could mean. It could look and feel in different ways. Releasing sexual partners who drain our energy, reevaluating friendships that keep you, I don't know, feeling small, recognizing when dating becomes self punishment instead of self expression. And I'll start with, I, Jeremy, you might remember there was somebody, we even brought him to Greece,
Mhm.
and somehow I got in this relationship and I couldn't get out of it. I just, for some reason, I just couldn't, but I knew it wasn't serving me well. I'm pretty sure all my friends and family knew this isn't the person for you.
I told you not to bring him. I remember saying
Yeah.
that.
Not that
And
I
I was
told you
much
so.
younger and not thinking straight, and I still brought him. And I wouldn't say it ruined my trip, but it did kind of dampen the mood and energy of that week. And they always say no regrets. I mean, I do regret doing that, but I learned from it, and thank God, shortly after that trip, saw the light. Sadly, we had to bring him to Greece to find that out, but I mean, yeah, I realized this isn't serving me. And I kind of thought like I couldn't get out of it, even though I had free will.
Mm-hmm.
Somehow I let his magic, his words keep me in. He used to do this thing where if I would even suggest that we were going to, like, let's just move on, be friends, he would start crying. And oh my
Oh,
gosh, I
girl.
would get, I know, and I would just get, I couldn't,
Manipulation.
yeah. Obviously, in the end, it didn't work out anymore. But I mean, Cody, the the art of letting go, it could be friendships, it could be somebody that's not serving you in a relationship. What do you have to say?
So much. I'll try and keep it brief though. Me, the way I grew up, because I grew up like moving around a lot as a kid. So I feel like that has prepared me for letting go with this what does not serve me anymore, or seeing that there may still be a connection there, but we're far away. Yada yada yada. It could mean a lot of things. We could still be friends, but from a distance. We might not talk any ever again, but maybe down the road we could uh, continue to speak. All of that is how I grew up. So I've learned how to let people go very easily. I will say there's one particular instance where I have not learned to let go, but in I just really recently broke up with two of my best friends. Well, maybe the first one is not really recent. It was like 2 or 3 years ago. But recently, now another one of my best friends. I feel like if people want to place you in a box and keep you the way that you were. I've heard from this person several times, you're not the same person as you used to be. And I think that that is incredibly limiting because we're supposed to grow as people. So
Mm-hmm.
maybe I'm not the same person that I used to be, but maybe you should get to know this person because this person is lovely. Also, something
I
that,
would vouch for that as well. I'm sure
thank you,
Jeremy would
darling.
too. Yes.
Thank you,
Yes,
darling.
of
Uh,
course.
Also something that I look for in friends, and if you don't do this, and both of you are really great friends in this way, you make me feel seen and validated. If something that that I have done or you have done and we disagree on it, we hear each other out and we talk about it because there's no right or wrong in the situation. It's two people with different perspectives. If you don't listen to my perspective and all you can see is your way, then we don't need to be friends because that's
Yeah.
not what friends do. Sorry. But yeah, so those are the two things that I look for, and I feel like if you let go of those types of friends, I don't even really like I miss them, but I don't feel like I miss them as much as I would if I could see a future where they would acknowledge me as a human being with emotions because that's the bare minimum for a friend, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, the reality is we're all so busy, and cultivating friends and finding the time to spend with them. And you want to spend, I think the older you get, you realize, okay, I'm busy. I have all family stuff. I maybe have a partner. And then I want to spend time with friends as well.
Yeah.
You want to make those really meaningful. And as age helps you weed that out, I would say the wedding, my recent wedding was a really good example of somebody out of the woodworks who I was super close with in college, and somehow throughout the years, just I moved in a different direction than he did, and I just had enough. And it wasn't an all out blowout. We didn't have this whole thing. I could just tell that this relationship isn't serving me anymore, and I just subtly, thankfully we don't live in the same city, and it was kind of easy to go. So I know he tried for years to kind of keep it alive, and I just was like, no, this, I don't really like, I didn't like where the direction of the friendship was going. Cut
Hmm.
to, he had heard and sent a Facebook message that I had gotten married, and sent a really lovely, actually a text message to me that wished, heard that you got married, saw some of the pictures. We probably have mutual friends, and really sent something really lovely. Now, when I saw that, I didn't respond immediately, obviously, but I took a day and I responded lovely back. I said, "Thank you so much. I felt it. It was genuine." But you can
Mm-hmm.
also have those kinds of people in your life where that's it. I didn't also say, "Hey, maybe we should like chat and get together." No, I didn't take it to that level, but I acknowledged what he had said, but I'm also not ready to. And I know he gets that I don't want to further the relationship anymore, and that can happen. I mean, Jeremy, when you hear things like get, taking stock of who's in your world and not afraid to maybe get rid of some people that aren't, not get rid of, but move on. What are your thoughts?
I mean, mine is monumental because it was a a bunch of family members that were doing me a disservice. So I think
Oh, yeah.
Mm.
making the realization that they were subtracting and not adding positivity to my life was a huge decision that I had to make. And once that was done, then it was very solidifying that I realized I could move on. And I'm still working through it, but it's definitely lifted so much negativity off my shoulders and less drama. And then one friendship in specific, the second that I was in a relationship, I could just sense so much um, negative energy and like no happiness for me, and a
Wow.
lot of negative comments and dwelling on like menial things or things that just aren't important, and also bringing like a negative energy and talking bad about other people that this person hangs out with and that we hang out with together, which is just not something that I do. I don't really hang out with people that I don't actually like. So I think that cutting that person and then the bunch of family that I no longer have in my life has really just made everything lighter and easier and happier for me. And I think that the underlying message is just you have to really do what's best for you and what adds to your life, not what subtracts or brings you down.
Amen to
Yeah, I
that.
mean, first off, I know exactly what you're talking about because you've shared personally, but I mean, family gets it takes it to another level too. I mean, it's
Hmm.
friendships, of course, that you've cultivated, but then family when you when you're confronted with family members like that, that just out of,
Mhm.
that I felt the impact when you shared it. So, and I know you've worked through that. And I
Yeah,
mean, just the power of cultivating our chosen family. We don't say that enough, but it's really real. And I mean, can we just say cheers to the chosen family? I mean, it's amazing.
yes.
Yeah.
Chosen
Amen to
family.
that.
Yeah, and we
Yes.
all have that power, and that's really one of the first lessons in my new app, Confidence and Connect, is identifying your emotional patterns, giving you a start to what keeps and what lets you go. I'll give more information on that. But when we were younger, growing up, did it feel sexy? How age clarifies desire. I'm talking about the beauty of aging into your desires, how you stop chasing impressive people and start choosing aligned people. Sexual connection becomes more about presence, intention, and being reciprocal, and why sex actually gets better with age when you know yourself. Well, this is a sex podcast, and we do talk a lot about sex and how the importance of maybe when we were younger, we didn't know. I think, Cody, weren't we talking what would we tell our 30-year-old selves? I know,
Oh yeah.
Jeremy, you're barely 30, but but um actually that would be a really good question for you. But you have always been an old soul, Jeremy, so there's
Yes,
that. But
totally.
we were talking about that, Cody, and how as we get older sexually, I've talked recently on a couple of episodes on Tantra and how we were talking about Dom sub. Remember that? And how I said somebody brought me in, I brought somebody home and they were a Dom and they were starting to beat me a little bit. And I was like, oh, hell no. I learned real quick that that's not what I want. And I just think with sexual connection is a real thing. What would you say to that, Cody, on sexual connection?
I mean, you start to learn your body so much more as you get older, and I feel like you start to learn what you're good at too. I feel like for me, I really started to uh, uh, feed into or get comfortable in my masculine like top era the older that I got. I mean, you know what? I haven't explored my bottom era though, so we'll see if that's coming.
Come on now.
But yeah, I have the top thing down to where I know what I'm good at, and that just comes with age and with practice. So I just got to keep practicing, right?
Yeah, and it's so interesting for me because in my 50s I got into my top era, and
Hmm.
because I've said on the show before I was always in the bottom arena and I enjoyed it, still enjoy it, but it's gotten more deeper into I've gotten deeper into it. And also with my husband now, and I love saying that now. Can I say that all the time? My sister was like, "Oh, my husband." I'm like, "Yes, exactly."
Hmm.
I'm definitely, but with my husband, sex has been really good, but also really connected to, and we're able to, I feel like we're just at the tip of the iceberg of exploration, and sex is sometimes hot and quick. Other times it's elongated and we just take our time. And like I said, we're just beginning with this. What would you say to Jeremy about, your how you've learned about your sexuality and what does sexual connection mean to you?
So I think that I'm still like learning myself and then also adjusting to being in a relationship and figuring out what turns on my boyfriend and then also just like cultivating that. And so I think I'm still in my learning phase. And I think one thing
Hmm.
has always stayed true with me that I've always loved rimming and butts, and that has never really changed, especially since we started the podcast. So that I think will always be a
Yeah,
thing
weren't you
that's
the one that went to a party when we were talking about Craigslist last week?
yeah,
And it
the
was
rimming
all
part.
strict about rimming.
Yes, yeah. So that's definitely something that I always loved and always will. But I think that I still have room to grow and learn and be in a relationship and please my partner at the same time.
I love that. Okay, and if we were to just kind of give some advice or what maybe actually how to make the most of the people we meet on a daily basis when we go out, even now, I mean, I'm always been a people person. I've always been outgoing. My husband is more quieter, but he can be outgoing as well. But how to make the most of the people we meet, how turning small moments into meaningful ones. I've said this before that the pandemic for me really changed me a lot because we were so isolated, and the moment we were allowed to go out just a little bit, or in my case, we were able to go to my rooftop. And I don't know that I really ever knew my neighbors that well. Maybe there was a hi here and there in the elevator, but really didn't take much time. I thought it was a city thing. Oh, yeah, we're not like in a cul-de-sac. It's not all about, hi, Mary. Hi, George. Did you mow the lawn? Are you picking up the kid? It wasn't that. It was just like zoom, zoom, zoom. And if I saw a familiar face. Ever since then, in the gym, I have my gym buddies downstairs. The rooftop I got to know so many people. I really set an intention every day. You can do this on my app. It's about connecting, setting the intention to connect with those I come in contact with. And it could be a simple smile, a good morning. And it's those kinds of things that are meaningful. When I go to Whole Foods, just making eye contact. Have you ever like noticed that some people avoid all that? You know, you hold the door for somebody, they don't even like reciprocate that. I mean, just small little meaningful, just giving a nice nod, a gentle hello, and then taking it even deeper, like starting a conversation. I stopped in the hall the other day with my neighbor, and I think we were just talking about how the weather, because New Yorkers, we love to talk about how the weather's changing. And we had this, and I had stuff to do, but I was like, nope, I'm planning myself. And I love those moments. And I do think those are the things that could also lead to dating and so on and so forth. But I mean, starting with you, Cody, how do you make the most of the people you meet? You're out and about all the time.
Not now.
Not this moment, but
Not
I
these
mean,
past 2 weeks.
what's some of your tips and tricks on staying in the moment, meeting people? You're very sociable. People love talking to you.
Thank you. You know what though? I think
Uh,
I'm kind of an introvert. I think that me naturally, I kind of I'm shy. So I think my tip would be to make the extra effort to get out and talk to people because like you said, I do talk to people. I'm social in a social setting, and I do try and make my rounds, and I say hi to people, and even in like the grocery store. So I think I take my time for myself when I feel like I need it, especially in the morning. Oh my God. But I feel like you said, that connection with people every day, I think it's really valuable. So when I am out and about and I feel up to it, I make the effort to nod to people, to look people in the eyes, to say hello to people that I see regularly. So just make the extra effort in order to get out of your shell because it is worth it. That would be my tip.
Yeah, and if you're in a city, it's really easy to not do that, and it's really easy to start some of these little things that we're talking about because we all know put the headphones on and just walk in your direction, storm down the 7th Avenue and ignore everybody, but you can also turn that around and the same angle, just not everybody. I mean, nobody wants to sit there and have a whole conversation with you, but just acknowledge people. I mean, Jeremy, since you moved away and you now have a boyfriend, what's life like on, and what tips would you give to making the most of the people you meet?
I think I learn a lot from my boyfriend just because he is
Oh my gosh, he's
much
so like, I'm sorry to cut you off, but
A social butterfly. He's just
totally
he
is. He
yes,
acknowledges a lot more than I do, and I think that I'm learning to get better at that. And like, I'm one of those people that I've never liked neighbors. Like, I don't care who you are, where like that you live right next door, that you're close. I do. I run away and I look in the opposite direction. And it's funny because when I'm at his house, I find myself like doing that, but then practicing sometimes waving to people and things. And it's like it's outside of my normal comfort zone, but it's good that I'm learning to adjust and to get better at not being so to myself. And I'm not shy by any means, and I'm definitely can be outspoken, but that's to people that I already know.
Mhm.
I would say I learn a lot from him because he can easily work a room. He can easily blend into any setting. I think that that's his working in human resources. That's a lot of his personality is being a people person, and I think that that's rubbing off on me little by little. And
love it.
I I take a lot of tidbits from him and try and work at getting better on it because I'm so like just rush and like try and not interact with people that I don't know.
And we are more alike than we think. I
Yeah.
know it's hard in this current climate to think that on one side of the aisle, on the other, but I mean, I'm serving. I can say I'm doing jury duty this week, and that's all I can say. But I will say I'm in a room right now with my fellow New Yorkers, and we are all different walks of life, and we all are connecting, and I have no idea where everyone falls on the spectrum of right or left or any of that stuff. Who's even watching news? Who has time to watch news right now? And it's kind of a beautiful thing when you really break it down. And really, that's why I created my new app called Connect and Confidence. It's not a hookup app, it's not another dating platform, but a place to go to build the skills that you actually make dating meaningful, but also friendships, clarity, confidence, connection, emotional.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Fiscally responsible, financial geniuses, monetary magicians. These are things people say about drivers who switch their car insurance to Progressive and save hundreds. Because Progressive offers discounts for paying in full, owning a home, and more. Plus, you can count on their great customer service to help you when you need it, so your dollar goes a long way. Visit Progressive.com to see if you could save on car insurance. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Potential savings will vary. Not available in all states or situations.
Maturity and consistency. And it's all the things that I wish I had in my 20s and 30s, because connection is a skill. And once you have the skill, the right people show up. So we deserve this. It's my new app is just launched today. It's called Connect and Confidence. And you get 20% off right now. You can go to studio.com/Steve V, or go to studio.com/Steve V/connect on your phone and go right to the app and download it. It's 20% off now through Black Friday. So check it out. More information, because we're going to continue this, but this was a really good conversation and I love it.
Definitely.
Yeah,
Hey,
definitely.
I will. Yeah, I will download it even though it's not a hookup app. Don't worry, okay?
Okay. Thank you so much. I know.
You're
See,
welcome.
yeah, right? There you
Progressive, yeah.
go. Oh my gosh. Let's get into some hot topics. And there were a bunch, but I have to, Ariana Grande and the rest of the Wicked cast have been all around the world promoting Wicked. I don't know if it's called Wicked Part 2, but it's the second installment. I'm excited to see Part 2. Did you both see Part 1?
Of
Oh,
course,
yes.
Okay. Did you love it?
Loved it. I can't
I
wait
loved
for
it, but I definitely needed like a snack, bathroom break,
Oh,
nap
me
break.
too, girl. Yeah, I'm with you too.
Not me. I was
This was kind of a push
enthralled.
for me too, but
Beautiful.
but it was beautiful and I really liked it. Well, they were promoting it recently, and Ariana Grande was ambushed after this guy threw himself on her at a Singapore Wicked premiere. It was 26-year-old Johnson Wen admitted to causing a public nuisance after he crossed a barrier at the event and threw his arm around the star. The crazy thing about this is he has done this before. He did it to Katy Perry. I mean, really, girl? Like, and he also did it to
Choices.
choices. He also did it to The Weeknd. And he says that he has no, like, he doesn't have any mental illness or anything. And he was jailed for this in Singapore. You know, they're not playing around in Singapore. Like, if you
Yeah.
chew gum, it's so clean over there that there's a fine. And so he's previously revealed his stunts have landed him fines of up to $10,000. Some of his family has helped him out. And like I said, he's done this to other people. He says he has no issues, but that he's might take a break from doing all this kind of stuff, assaulting celebrities, but
Yeah.
he might do it again down the future. What is in the hell, Jeremy?
I really saw it and thought it's absolutely ridiculous. And he looks like so stupid and making them feel really uncomfortable. And he makes it worse for fans that know how to respect celebrities and people that are in the public eye, because now they'll just have top security and they won't be accessible to the public whatsoever, especially someone that's so tiny and frail like Ariana Grande.
I
She's really,
know.
really teeny tiny, and
Yeah.
she's walking through a crowd, obviously still surrounded by security, but this kid just like ran and jumped and like he's laughing and thinks it's really funny, and I just think it's like pathetic and stupid.
It
And
really is. And remember when we were back in school, they said, "You're ruining it for the rest of us." Remember
Yeah.
that? You would hear that all the time. Well, he's ruining it for the rest of us, because
yeah,
now, I mean, I think Billie Eilish at a recent concert had that happen to her. There's been other celebrities. There's this
yeah,
whole thing where people are throwing things up at people performing in hopes that they maybe read something, but they're hitting this celebrity. And it's just like, what happened to the days of just letting the performer perform and respecting them? We're all excited to see them. We're all like, you know, crazy, especially us gays. And but it's like, Cody, come on, you're a performer. I
Yeah,
mean, are you
girl.
ready for
Let me tell
this?
you. First of all, I laugh because that guy said he didn't have any mental illness. How would he know? He's the one that
Well,
has
exactly.
so that's why I laugh, because you know what, he needs to get a little he needs to see what's really going on inside of him, because I think he might be a little touched. Anywho, as far as me and this, Ari Lennox had something thrown at her on stage. I love Ari Lennox, by the way. And she said, I'm from Chicago. I will come down there and whip your ass. We are not going to throw things on the stage. And so I am with her. Don't throw anything at me, because it will not end up well for you. And this guy, I'm glad he's getting prosecuted in Singapore. They said he'll probably serve 9 days. So I
Yeah,
think that,
Singapore's not playing.
yeah, I don't think that's long enough, but it is what it is.
It's
Hopefully
just
he'll learn a lesson.
you brought up a good point. Yeah, he doesn't have
Then what is
what
this?
is the whole thing with like coming after a celebrity while they're on stage? And I mean, even there's been a couple times where one time I was able to go backstage at a Janet Jackson concert and meet her. And as you all know, huge fan. It was like, but it was very organized, and they brought us back in groups of, I believe, 6. And I knew somebody that knew somebody, so I was able to get that. But it was like so quick and whatever. We got to take a picture with her. We got to like meet her, not shake her hand, and she was all wrapped up with her, protecting her throat, which I loved. But
Yeah.
it was very, I mean, I just was grateful enough to do that. But it's like, why would you assault anybody, especially somebody that you're a fan of?
Yeah,
I
it's
don't
like
get that,
you
especially in
want
this climate.
Yeah, I think it's all about, for him, it's like power, and it gains him some notoriety. But I think, honestly, I think there might be a way for him to do this to where he's not shocking and surprising
Pick a
the
better hobby.
stars.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think that he
Waste of time, pick a better hobby, right, Jeremy?
Yes. Get a day job.
Get a day job. Yeah, come on now. Well, a man triumphantly defeated a state's ban on his GAY license plates, and now everyone's getting rear-ended with pride, says the story. It was an Ohio man who expressed joy at being allowed to have a personalized license plate with the word gay, GAY, written across it.
Oh
Well, the
my God.
state's Bureau of Motor Vehicles, like others across the US, denies particular personalized license plates requests every year. And it does so if the request contains profanities, references to drugs, hateful messages, or lewdness. And each year, around 600,000 people request personalized plates, but several hundred see their requests denied. One search person was William Saki of Lakewood in the Ohio County. The gay man wanted the word gay. It's who I am. I'm proud of it, said Saki. And when the Ohio BMW rejected his request, Saki hired an attorney to fight the decision. So I've never been a fan of, I thought we were done with personalized license plates a long time ago. I mean, in the 80s, maybe even the 70s, 80s, they were huge. It was like a whole thing. I mean, I guess I give him a little kudos to saying he's proud and loud and gay, but aren't you, back to this climate, putting a target on your back, Jeremy?
Yes, I would not. Like, if you really have to have a vanity plate, I would choose something like kitschy that's like, I don't know where, like, if you own a company or your initials or something like that. But I definitely would not be naming your sexual orientation on there, or having like some sort of dumb saying or something that makes you a negative target for anyone, especially in today's climate of how politics is going, and just
Road rage.
and how people are uh so aggressive about their point of views if it's contrasting to yours. I think it is really dangerous, actually, and there's nothing like fun about that.
Again, I have to say, get a hobby, get a job. I
Yeah.
mean, this would not be my thing, but good for him. What do you say, Cody?
I mean, where does he live again?
Ohio.
I mean, that doesn't seem like a hotbed for, tolerance and acceptance. I don't know. I've never been to Ohio. Maybe it is. So I think that I agree with you guys. Even here in New York, I think you would be hard pressed to have a gay license plate name on your car. So I think that you're opening yourself up to vandalism and things like that. I mean, like, it's a shame, and we shouldn't have to live like this. And I'm happy that people want to express themselves and make themselves known as far as who they are. But you got to have a little bit of self restraint too, I feel like.
So, lastly, in Hot Topics, there was I Will, WOOL, survive. I Will Survive, how a gay sheep just became fashion's hottest story. I was a little perplexed when I first saw this story, and I was like, what are we talking about? And it's basically sheep, gay sheep. And thanks to designer Michael Schmidt, a determined German shepherd, the real kind, gay wool is having its global couture moment, and Grinder got into the mix because Michael Smith, designer Grinder, have launched a whole couture line of wool, and it's because these particular sheep have been seen contorting with other male sheep. So they are not producing with other women, other female sheep, and there are the 10% of sheep that are homosexual, apparently. And before they were going to be killed, one person thought, let's save them and let's create a whole line with this and do a whole line. And Grinder stepped up to the plate. I sent you pictures. I want to know what you think of saving this line. I Will Survive, the world's first fashion line made entirely from the wool of gay rams. The show, a 36 look spectacle featuring every delicious gay archetype imaginable, hit the Altman building like a glitter bomb. Grinders described the collaboration best. The project brought together two worlds that should never logistically meet: a hookup app, a German sheep farm, and a celebrity designer. But I think we're here for it. I think it was kind of fabulous. But we got to go to you first, Jeremy, our fashion expert. What did you think of the line? What did you think of this collaboration?
I absolutely loved it. I think it's so fun. I really love the silhouettes. I think everything fits well, and I think that they just ran with the whole entire idea. And I actually had to read it a second time because I was like, "What is going on here?" Like at
Right.
first, they're very interesting looks, but it's a super fun fashion show, and I love that they had a lot of diversity in the models that they chose.
Yep.
And I think I saw porn stars in there and cool models and really cool looks. And they really made it kitschy but fun and really showed what wool can actually do. Just because you think of it as like just wool sweaters, and these are like jumpsuits and different type shirts and shorts and just all kinds of stuff. I thought it was awesome and I really loved it.
Yeah, there is a jumpsuit, a short jumpsuit with a patch on the left side, DTF. I'm assuming, Cody, down to fuck, right?
Oh,
Obviously.
definitely.
That
Yeah,
is a
Yeah.
little bit, that's in wool. It's beautifully fit on this
it is. It's
model.
really
It's the
nice. It's well done for
it's
sure.
Well
the brown
done.
one.
It's giving a little UPS, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But modernized with the boot and just, I mean, we talk a lot. Every once in a while, we'll do like a little thing on a fashion moment on, Sniffies or whatever. I think it was clever. It's totally making good use of this wool that apparently
Yeah.
we were not going to get. The models look amazing in it. I mean, there's some hot pants. There's another one. There's an Asian model that I would wear all of it. It's like a blue
Yes. I love
sleeveless wool jean cut type jacket with the darker blue short cut. I would totally rock something like that. Maybe separately, but I would, because he looks amazing in it, but I would do it separate, but I would totally do it. What are your thoughts, Cody, on this line that we're talking
Yeah.
about? I Will Survive.
I love it. I think it's amazing. I think that well, all of the looks, they're archetypes on like gay tropes. So
Yes.
that
Yeah. Thank you
DTF
for saying that. Yeah.
was definitely a play on the UPS man, and he delivers and things of that nature. But also the one that the one that really impressed me was there's like a hitchhiker guy, and he just has on what look to be jean shorts, and they're made of wool. So like Jeremy was
Ooh.
saying, wool is so versatile, and they look like jeans. So I had to like zoom in to make sure that they weren't actual jeans, and they're made of wool. And I think that this is fantastic. I think that all the clothes are so sexy. Like you said, the models are so sexy,
What a
and I
great
think that
concept,
we should buy
right?
more things
I
made out
love
of
that
wool
it's
for
for like
sure.
it's for a really good cause too, and I
Yeah.
think that comparatively speaking to the other um, collections from other apps that we've talked about before, this one just really stands out, and I think that the creativity level is really there.
Absolutely. I will post this on tagspodcast.com because I really do think that it's a good one and we want you to check it out. Or go to our Tags Patreon community, patreon.com/tags podcast. The links are always there, plus behind the scenes. Lastly, I just wanted to shout out it's Christmas season for many of us. And there is a film that had a gay couple in it that I thought was really cool. It's called A Merry Little Xmas, and I highly recommend it. It's got, I mean, if you're a fan of, oh my gosh, who? Alicia Silverstone, Jamila Jamil is in
Oh, I've heard
it.
them.
It's got Oliver Hudson, who I really love a lot. There's a gay the character of Oliver Hudson's dads are gay, and remember when like Christmas movies on Hallmark, I mean, some are better than others, but Diego and I are watching a bunch right now. But this one on Netflix, A Merry Little Xmas, it's
Oh, I'll have to check it out.
Alicia Silverstone and Oliver
Hudson.
Hudson play an exes, but they have kids and they're trying to make it work. It's really cute, and there's a gay theme in it. That's why I mentioned it. Anything you want to promote at all, Jeremy, right now?
The Family Stone is definitely one of my favorite Christmas movies.
What
So
is it called?
The Family Stone, and that
Oh my God, yes. Even
and
for Thanksgiving.
the amazing Diane Keaton too.
Oh,
Yes.
who we just
Gotta watch
lost.
that. Yeah.
Really good. Thank you for reminding us that. Cody, anything you want to remind us of for Christmas or the holidays?
Wicked is coming out, so we can
Yep.
No,
Recycled that story.
I mean, yep. I'm going to go see Wicked for sure. So
Oh,
we're
that's
going
on
to go.
Friday. I didn't realize it's this week.
Yeah,
Yes,
but I think I'm going to wait for
exactly.
Thanksgiving. I'm going to wait for
Yeah.
Thanksgiving to go with my family. So
Oh, awesome.
I know, right? It's going to be fun. So I can't
Well, my
wait.
new app, again, is called Connect and Confidence. We're going to be talking about it more, but you can go to studio.com/Steve V/connect, or the web version, studio.com/Steve V. I'll list it wherever you can get it. I'm really excited about it because I think this is a really important time for us to connect with confidence. And I'm really excited to put this out there. I'm more to come on that. You can always follow my co-host. You can follow Jeremy on the gram at @JRossLopez. Follow Cody on the gram or on Blue Sky at Mr. Maurice. Follow me on the gram. I am _Stevie. This was so much fun. Thank you for diving deep, you guys.
Always.
Good. And in the meantime, continue having hot gay sex.
Hi friends, we are Dads and Daddies, a podcast about the lives and times of adult gay men in the here and now. I'm Brian Rubin Sowers, a married dad of 2.
And I am Judson Morrow, resident daddy. Join us for frank conversations and personal stories of sex, love, relationships, parenthood, daddyhood, addiction, and so much more.
Find us on Instagram at Dads and Daddies Pod and listen to new episodes every Tuesday on all major platforms.